Hello and welcome to my Elite Dangerous, the day-to-day grind, preparing for fleet carriers, base legs, planetary personal bases, and landing on planets that have atmosphere. What happened there? Yeah, the last time we did a cargo mission we were like 10.5. Well, I spent about 700 million on 3 cutters. In the last video, if you haven't already seen it, it's where we go out to Jameson Memorial and purchase them. We outfitted one. It got to the 9.8, and I said, okay, we'll stop for now. And when we get back up to 10.5, I'll go back out to Jameson and work on 2 of them. I did send one to Babbage, so it should be there. And it takes a little while to tweak the new ships to be basically for what I'm going to use them for, because I have 4 Pythons. One's a travel, one's a cargo, one's a mining, and one's a planetary. Well, I'm going to do the same thing with a set of cutters. And I'm probably going to do the same thing with a set of small ships. And then I'm going to do at least 2 ships that have super long range, 80, 85 light year jump range. And that will probably be a complete set. They're all going to be support ships for the fleet carrier. Now, we got a notification today, this morning, that the snapshot for Beta 2 will be April the 30th. This is the first time that I know of that they've given us a heads up when the snapshot's going to happen. So Beta should be 2 weeks after April 30. Now, there's no guarantee in that. I mean, they might do it quicker, but the snapshot itself, whatever balance, whatever ships, whatever assets we have at the time that they take the snapshot on April the 30th, that will be in the Beta 2. So I want to build up the credits to 10.5, go back out to Jameson, modify those 2 cutters, and eventually have them brought back to Babbage so they can be finished, because I can continue to tweak them. And then when we get the fleet carrier in Beta 2, then we're able to semi-use them. I use the Pythons more than I use anything else, but I will feel that I am set if I have the 4 Pythons, the 4 cutters, the 4 small ships, a long range, probably the Anaconda is one of them, long jump range, and then a possible smaller ship than the Anaconda that has a super jump range. So I think that will be it for my support ships at that point. So check out that video if you haven't already seen it on the support ships that I brought out on April the 24th also. And so we've backed up. I didn't try to make up the whole 7 million plus for the next video. We're going to start here and work our way up to 10.5, and when we hit the 10.5, we're going to go back to Jameson and tweak on those cutter support ships. There's still 2 that are there. So we need to get out to Sothis Mining, pick up a load, and as you can tell, we only need about 1.22 million to hit that 9.85. I feel this is more than adequate for Beta 2, the 9.8. I'm not going to let it get under 9.8 when I go out to Jameson working on the cutters. That's my base limit. I don't want it to go any lower, because I want to make sure, it's a double make sure, that we're good for April the 30th snapshot for Beta 2. So stay tuned to my channel, because I bring it to you as I hear it. Now, this was directly from Frontier. There wasn't a leak or anything like that. Now, the space legs, planetary bases, and the landing on planets with atmosphere, that's a leak. We've heard that last year, and we're hearing it again this year. Now, Frontier themselves have said that their largest update for Elite Dangerous ever supposed to be in December. That would make sense if we were getting space legs and planetary bases and landing on planets with atmosphere. So it all kind of fits. The puzzle is starting to fit. So we're going to stick with that until we hear something different by December. And that's supposed to be a DLC. That means you got to pay real money for that one, just like Horizon. You have Elite Dangerous, then you have Horizons to be able to do planetary stuff. And then now you're going to have a new DLC for space legs, planetary bases, and landing on planets with atmospheres. So we need to transfer missions. We need to grind. Prime time grind all the time. We need to. I wish they would have told us up front what the snapshot date was for Beta 1, like they're doing for Beta 2, so they're doing a whole new thing. They're discounting the operating cost of the fleet carrier, all those things. Universal cartographics is going to be part of Beta 2. So the costs are going to be less, except for purchasing the fleet carrier. It's still $5 billion. But the services will be 35 to 45% cheaper, and your monthly upkeep will be 85.5% cheaper. So, and the ramp up time for hyperjump of the fleet carrier is going to be 15 minutes instead of an hour. And your cooldown time afterwards is going to be 5 minutes instead of an hour, like it was in Beta 1. And if you're in debt, and you were in debt over 4 weeks, it would be decommissioned. Well, now it's 10 weeks, so you have a little more time. So there's lots of good news. And Tritium will go over twice as far as it did in Beta 1. So for an example, let's say you have a jump, and it used to require 100 tons of tritium, and let's say that's 130 light years, just hypothetical, which it should be in that ballpark. Well, now it's going to be over 260 light years for the same amount of tritium, the 100 tons. Now, when I buy the fleet carrier this time in Beta 2, as soon as we buy it and add every service except for the black market, we're heading over, I think it's Miramar or Milmar or something like that, right next to Beta Hydrae. We can't park the fleet carrier in Beta Hydrae because it's a permit system. So I think it's Miramar or something like that that's right next to it. That's where we parked in Beta 1. Because Edmondson High sells tritium, and they had 247,000 tons for sale. So that's the first place we're going the day of the beta to buy tritium. We're going to fill up the fuel tank completely. We're going to use the cutter as the transport. And we're going to add 16,000 tons to the storage of the fleet carrier of tritium. That should be enough for the whole beta, but if it's not, we'll make a trip and top it off. But that should hold us out throughout the beta, and that's the idea. So yes, and I would like to have $1 billion in the balance of the fleet carrier for the upkeep. So that's kind of the plan. Well, the plan right now, though, is to get our balance back to 10.5 billion. And then we'll go to Jameson Memorial and we'll tweak on the 2 cutters that we bought. 2 of the 3. 1 I've already had sent to Babbage, and we'll tweak on it there. So it takes a while. I'm still tweaking on the other 3 pythons, and we're having to make runs to the material trader both in Brunel and that first small station in Sothis. And so we need to get going, and we keep topping off the materials, because in the past I have moved materials over to the higher grade so it's easy to transfer it to a lower grade. So we're continuing to keep the lower grades at roughly 20 to 40 units, and as we need them, we're able to just work on those. There's not a close raw material trader, but at the moment we don't need one. We will go out to one and do the same thing if it becomes necessary. I do want to go to Dab's Hope and Jameson Crash Site before the April the 30th too, and load up on some more material. So what we do between now and through April the 29th for sure will be in our live account, of course, and then we'll also be in beta 2. So we need to always keep that in mind. If you're going to grind, you have through the end of day, April the 29th, and sometime on April the 30th, they're going to make the copy from live to beta 2. And at some point they're going to announce when beta 2 is going to start. My guess it's usually 2 weeks after Snapshot, but we'll see. Okay, let's go back out to Sothis Mining and pick up a load and get over that 9.85. Sis left. Check on the recording. It says it's recording. Okay. So let's get to Sothis Mining. And if you would, look to the bottom of the video to the right and see that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. You get notified when I produce more videos, and it helps me with YouTube in the future.
Landing gear retracted.
Detach confirmed. Observe queuing system when exiting the station.
At the moment, I am way away from the minimum subscribers that YouTube requires before they give support. So you can help me out though. Underneath the video in the description you will see ways to donate to our channel. We really need donors. The cost is really eating us up.
Romeo Golf, India. This port is under federal control. Submit to randomized security scans on approach.
Drive charging.
And underneath the video to the left, you'll see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where there's over 570 additional videos that were all made since January.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Since they were made since January, it's all newer content. So check those out. I've had a few people say, you need to create more videos. I have plenty of videos for you to watch of about every topic imaginable, or every topic that I've been comfortable with. I've recorded everything that I've done since January, and I take the most important and put those into a video, because it takes about 3 times as long as it does for me to play the gameplay and record to edit and to publish. And that's why you don't see every cargo run, because between the 50 million increment, I run 2 to 3 to top it off close to or just over the 50 million increment, and then I create a video on that. Sis left. It's Valinsky is where that other material trader is. I don't know why I keep forgetting the name of the station. Comes with the ADD. My mind's in 100 directions. And so my mind's thinking one thing and I say something different sometimes, and then I catch it and oh no, not that. And I take this modafinil, which is pretty good stuff. It helps kind of draw my focus in, but it's not 100% proof. Just like this game, there's some issues in the game, like interdictions and stuck throttles and critical message when you're trying to look at missions, which is a pain. Our mission critical message, I think is what they say. But if you're in the cargo missions looking at them or inside one, it kicks you out and throws you to the top of the board. Real pain. There's a lot of real pains. It's the obstacle course mentality of the game. That and it's pirate fantasy that drive me nuts. That I could do without. There's a lot of things I could do without. And like ships tried to beat me to the request for docking. So I have to come in a blazing here at Sothis Mining. And I have to be speeding when I cross the 8 kilometer mark. I don't like being next to the planet, and it pulls you too close. So if I get interdicted, I can be thrown into the planet. Which I'm not big on. Sis left.
Docking request granted.
And since I've come in a blazing, I am able to do away with a lot of that. They try to beat me to the request. A few times they're already at the on the pad, so when I come in, so I can't do much about that. So we got to make up for those 3 cutters I bought today.
Landing gear deployed.
Since we don't have support ships with our fleet carrier, we have to create our own support ships. And that's part of the deal with the 3 extra Pythons now
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
And the 3 extra cutters that I have now. So I've got 4 cutters and 4 Pythons. Sis right. Sis left. Starting to run low on missions, but it's okay. We have 8, and usually by the time 1 or 2 rounds and we catch up to around 14, we can have up to 20. Boom delivery 2172. Right there. We're going to go to New Dawn. And most of what we get is going to New Dawn, and we kind of push that too. Sis left. Boom delivery 108 gold to New Dawn. Sis left. Deliver 96 gold. Sis left. And that gets us to the 22 hours arena. Boom 56 palladium. Okay, that'll be a partial.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I always want my cargo hold to be maximum capacity when I run a delivery. The Babbage, we accept that. We don't fill it yet, but we accept it. Nope, I don't want that one.
Incoming mission critical message.
Throws me to the top. New Dawn. For New Dawn, I take gold and palladium, and for Brunel and Babbage, I just take palladium. And then I top any of them off when I'm ready to run. I want to have a full cargo hold when I run or make those runs, so I'll top it off with whatever I can get. See, now we're getting some palladium. The last couple of times we didn't get much palladium. So I've had a few people say, well, I went out there and there's no missions. Well, take some of the smaller or some of the less missions and just keep going back and you will get them. That's why I stack them. On purpose I stack them. So that way I can have missions during those times when there's no missions. And then by the time before I run out of missions, most of the time I fill back up. And we could take like silver and galite and things like that, but we usually don't have to. Sis left. You see, now we got 13 missions where we came in with 8. So, New Dawn. Now be sure to press that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the video. That's what I need. Probably more than most other things. You see it, my ships now say Sidewinder, which is the original, and I modded it out pretty much completely the other day. 2 Imperial Cutters and 3 Pythons. And I'm in one of the Pythons, so there's a total of 4, and 2 of the Cutters are at Jameson Memorial. So we have 4 Pythons, 4 Cutters, and a Sidewinder at the moment. Okay, is this up? So let's get out to New Dawn, deliver this, and go over that 9.85. After I spent over 700 million on cutters. That's what's cool about grinding. You have the credits to
Landing
spend.
gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah, I like these A engines, Class A's. Yeah, they're a whole lot cooler than those D's and especially E's that the ships come with.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And the B classes are pretty good too about being cooler. Now they're heavier and so you lose a little jump range, but I like the coolness of them. Won't have to use my heat sinks as much. And we get interdicted from 2 to 7 times. When they really get viral, it's 4 to 7 times. Right now it's probably 2 to 7 times is what we're getting right now. Trying to get the interdictions at least to start and get out of the way. Now I haven't lost an interdiction in over probably 10 months. It's definitely over 8, but I think it's 10. It was the second day that I played the game. I had no idea what was going on. And after that day, I went and watched some videos. I had to figure that out, because that wasn't going to work. They have all those fines for losing the cargo and all that. Nah, hadn't happened since. And I don't plan on it. If you get knocked out and you're not a combat person like me, you max throttle, boost as often as you can because it has to charge, and move side to side, up and down, so they can't hit you directly, directly. Usually they'll quit after a very short period of time if you're boosting and max throttle. And you can use the heat sinks like is to the left, and you can cool your ship down enough from their thermal fire to get back into Super Cruise, so they can interdict you all over again. Is this left? And see, we'll kind of try to turn these guys around where they're beside of us or in front of us, or we can see their intentions a little better. But see, in my videos, I take you along for the ride. It is not a summary. It's not an overview. You know, I take you with me. My engineer videos, I take you with me. And we go collect the items needed to unlock the engineer. And that's my whole intention, is to take you with me on these on this adventure, these excursions. That's the word I was trying to come up with. So I take you with me on the excursion. Now sometimes I'll do some of the engineering tweaks without a video, but in June I want to take the cutter and all the ships and we go park it at the each engineer, and I want to fully mod each ship and do the experimental. And so I want to take you on that tour. So definitely watch my video, especially then.
DeLacy, Romeo Golf, India. Station services are on standby for your arrival,
Sis left.
Commander. Good to have you.
But I have other engineer videos. So watch those. Watch the material trader videos.
Approved for access. Your assigned landing pad is number 26. Acknowledged, Commander. Clear for assisted docking.
And watch the Dabs Hope videos and the Jameson crash site videos, where we collect all the materials, from raw materials to manufactured materials to encoded materials. And we're probably going to do some of that before April 30th, where we go out to Dabs Hope and Jameson. But I have videos already on Dabs Hope and Jameson. And there's other locations where we can collect materials too that I've been to, that I have videos on. Like I said, 570 plus videos. And the Guardian surface site, where we collect the blueprint for a Guardian FSD booster that gives you up to 10.5 additional light years on top of your engineered FSD drive. Okay, so we're going to go over.
Touchdown sequence complete. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
We're going to go over that 9.85. And if you watch some of my previous videos again, you might say, 9.85, what happened? 3 brand new cutters is what happened. 700 million worth. And modules on, especially one of them, that costs a fortune. So it was A-class modules. So, yep, spent some money. And we found out that the snapshot for Beta 2 will be on April the 30th. So they gave you a heads up. If you're going to grind, you better do it now, and you've got through April the 29th. And sometime on April the 30th, they take the snapshot. And then after that, you're just adding to your live account for June's purchase of the fleet carrier. And we usually do both. We'll do the beta, some videos in the beta, and we'll work the day-to-day grind with our live account. Is this right? Okay. We got to 9.859. We did over 10 million. So we need to get back out to Sothis, where we can pick up another load, but that when we get to Sothis, that will end this video. Sis left. You zoom out, it goes a little faster. Is this up? Our Imperial cutter has arrived at Babbage. Cool. That's good news. That's one of them. The other two are still in Jameson Memorial Station. And we'll go visit them before April 30th, and when we get back to 10.5 billion. I don't want to go less than 9.8.
Landing gear retracted.
Detach is good. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
because I want to make sure we have enough for Beta 2. Even at the expense of getting all the cutters fully operational. Okay, I'm going to Sothis Mining, and we'll end the video there. Make sure you press that subscribe button. I need that more than anything else at the moment.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
I'm far away from the minimum subscribers necessary for support, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you're notified when I create additional videos. Sis left. I don't want to get too close to that star. And underneath the video, in the description, you'll find ways to donate. There's no amount too small that wouldn't help. All donations help greatly because the expenses are so high, especially in storage costs and for computer costs and sound equipment and all of that. So we need as much help as we can get. Underneath the video to the left, you see my YouTube channel, GFM_RDG, where you'll find those over 570 videos. Oh, I'm sure it's probably over 580 by now. It's been a few days since I counted them. At least over 570. And it's all since January. So it's all newer content. Even a Thargoid surface site with the scavengers that you, if you shoot them, you get ARXs for. Now, I didn't shoot them when I was there, but you certainly can, especially if you're more combat oriented than I am. My combat experience is against stingers and skimmers, doing the bounty hunting videos. If you watch my bounty hunting videos, it's all about going after stingers and skimmers, and a guardian skimmer, which is a legacy one. It's not the guardian sentinel, and it's not made by the guardian alien race, made by humans, but it's one of the first skimmers in the game that was in the game. So check those out. Says left.
Docking request granted.
Again, we come in a blazing because we have to beat the NPCs from requesting docking before we do, as they do. There's constant roadblocks that have to be thrown up in your way, and you have to figure out a way to overtake them, or to win against them. Well, I do appreciate you
Landing
coming
gear
along
deployed.
and watching my videos. Be sure to press that subscribe button if you haven't already. And make sure you consider donating to our channel. And watch more of our videos on GFM_RDG. I'd really appreciate it.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So be sure to come along with me again when we hit that 9.85. So until the next video, thank you for watching.